Hi everybody, welcome to my video today. I'm going to put my comments up here on my iPad so that I can see. I feel like I need to adjust this a tiny bit or I'm going to be working at an angle and it's going to be weird. So I'm sorry to move the camera around like that. See. I know I'm really early this morning. Hi, Julie. So I totally forgot to do a live yesterday. I had a, let's see. So yesterday morning, we decided to take a little day trip up to my favorite winery to pick up my wine order. Because I'm part of the wine club and they don't ship it. So you have to pick it up. And so this is my favorite winery and it is about an hour and 10 minutes away. And so like every 3 months we go up and we just have a little day date and we go up and, go to the winery and pick up the wine order and have breakfast or have lunch. And so I did that. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Martha. So, I did that. We did that. And then I came home and I was working, but then, someone stopped by and then I had a live for my document group and I got distracted and I never did a live yesterday and didn't even think about it. And this morning when I woke up, I was like, oh my gosh, I never did my live yesterday for you guys. So we're going to do it today and then I'll have one for tomorrow as well. Good morning, Sarah. Hi, Iota. Hey, Daisy. So I'm so glad so many of you are joining because it is early for me. It's not quite 8:30 yet. I think I said I was going to go live at 8:20. So it's a little bit early, but I want to get this in today because I have a lot of filming to do today. So the mini class Wonderfully Wicked, it's sold out. So there's no kits left. So that's great. So I have to film all of that. And then I have a few other things that I have to film and get wrapped up today. So I want to get live in and hang out with you guys this morning so that I can just get all of my filming done before my kids get home. Hey guys. Okay. So let's go ahead and dive in and we're going to make something. Now, originally what I had planned, I've lost the stamp set. Like I have lost I don't know what it's called. It is the stamp set. I think it's called Country Home. It's the one from the catalog last year that has the, like the 10 in it. Like, it has a saying like simply thankful for all good things. Like I've looked everywhere. I don't know what happened to that stamp set. And then, when you're looking for something and you really can't find it, like even if it's right in front of you. So I'm sure that's what's happening. So, because I wanted to show you guys how you could pair an older stamp set that you might already have with some newer product. But since I've lost that stamp set, we are going to use this stamp set, which we were just using the big sentiment. That particular stamp set has a couple really big sentiments, which I love. And so does this one. So I'm a huge fan of big sentiments because I feel like you can do a lot with it. And I wish they were all this big. I feel like you can do a lot with it in lots of different ways. So we're going to use this one and I think it will work fine. And then we're going to use this designer paper. So when I first saw this paper in the catalog, it says like realistic, photographic, realistic kind of photos. And I was like, I don't particularly love paper that's like this. I always have a really hard time using it, I feel like. And so I was like, whatever, like, that's fine. It probably won't be one that I use, but I always order all of the paper right away. Like on my very first order, when I'm able to order, I just automatically get all of the paper from the catalog. And that is because the same reason I offer paper share. Sometimes you cannot know how you're going to like a set of paper until you see it in person. And that is certainly the case for this paper right here. I got it and I was like, oh my heavens, this is gorgeous. And it has this foiled designs on the back. So even like this one, not this one, there's one we just looked at that I was like, that I didn't love the design. Oh, this one. So I don't really love the design of this, but this I love. And I feel like you can totally, this is totally usable. Like you can incorporate this into lots of different things. So I really love when Stampin' Up! Does a designer paper like this where maybe it's very specific kind of on one side, but then they give you on the other side, they give you these really open-ended options. And I feel like that's kind of what this is. So I have, since I first got this and first saw it, I have ordered a couple more packs because I think that it's really great for a lot of different things. So there's these, like I said, there's some of them like this one I'm not crazy about. I even sort of like these realistic photographic pages. Like I think that they're done really well where you can use them, but I mean not all of them are my favorite. But they're really pretty. And then the other side is that silver foil. And then it comes in 6x6. So we're going to use this and we're going to do like a focus on designer paper kind of thing. Like what can you do with just designer paper? Okay. So this is the Feels Like Frost designer paper. That's what we're going to be using. And then a couple reminders. I have the links for the holiday catalog labels. So if you are wanting the labels, I'm still getting emails about this. Like people are like, how can I get this? How can I get this? And I'm sort of ignoring them right now because I'm so busy. I can't stop and email every single person that emails me with the link. So I'm trying to get this out, like in my videos, I'm linking them, and then on my Facebook Lives. All you have to do is click on the link and you'll have this. So they're just the catalog labels for the holiday catalog. And then there's just a couple weeks left in the month. So the first thing that you'll want to know about is my ordering special for this month. I'm getting closer to earning the incentive trip. I'm still a little ways away. So that's okay. This is just, it's not the end of the world if I don't hit a goal, right? There's always next year. There's always another time. But there's a couple weeks left, so I'm going to keep pushing here and trying to reach this goal. So if you spend $65 with me this month and you use the host code, I'll send you this stamp set right here, the Holiday Haul stamp set. So that is for this month. Just use the host code here, and I will get a stamp set to you. I was so thankful for everybody who did my mini class because that was helpful in getting closer to it. And then there is the buy 3 get 1 free designer paper. So we have that happening. These are all from the annual catalog. None of the holiday paper is included in that. So I want to repeat that again. None of the holiday paper is included in this. And I know, like I said to you guys, it makes me mad that Stampin' Up! Did that, but I'm not in charge of the promotions. I'm not in the promotion department. But I know it's frustrating. We're all wanting holiday paper right now because that's what we're focused on, and so I know it's frustrating. And then what was the other thing? The clearance rack has been updated and things are going fast, you guys. I was so bummed because the craft, the 6x8 craft scrapbook albums were on there for $4. And I was like, oh, it's fine. Like, it probably won't sell out or whatever. Like, I'll place the order when I get home tonight. I went to order it last night and they were sold out. So I was so bummed. I had wanted to pick up some of those to have on hand at that good price. So I'm going to use From Our Home to Yours. You could also, for the card we're going to do, this one would, well, either one of these would work. Either one of them would work. Okay. Hey, Tammy. Hi, Julie's husband. Okay, so we're going to use Highland Heather. Okay, Highland Heather is happening. And so here's my cardstock for this. Now, all I've done is I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and I cut it in half at 5.5, which I usually don't do. I usually do it the other way. So I cut it at 5.5, and then you fold it at 4.25, and that's going to give you a standard A2 size card. And you just get a good crease on that. And then my paper trimmer is, the blade desperately needs to be changed because I've been cutting so many kits and cutting paper for the holiday paper share that just went out. And so my edges are kind of jagged. And so I'm lazy sometimes, and I'm trying to make my blades last as long as they can until the new trimmer comes out, which hopefully will be soon. So I just take a nail file. This is just, one that you can find, at Walmart or Target. The ones at Target are prettier. So if you want pretty ones in your craft room, the ones at Target don't always work on your nails, FYI, but they work great for paper. Or you can, Walmart or CVS or wherever, you can get nail files. I usually get one that is pretty, pretty rough. It's not like a fine file. And then you can just file the sides of your paper. And it's simply because I haven't changed my blade and I've been doing so much cutting. So that's all. It's not the paper. I got a really nasty comment yesterday on one of my videos because I did this, and they went on and on about crappy product and if I would use better products in my videos, that wouldn't happen. And it was comical. It was nasty, but it was comical. But really, it's just because I have not changed the blade. And if you guys had seen all of the cutting of all of the paper that I've done in the last 2 weeks, you would totally understand why the blade's jacked up. So the next thing I have is the nestled die. One of the nestled dies, and I love this die. You guys, I love it. I think I said this in my last video. Did we use this in my last video? That I love these dies. They are one of my favorite set of dies, and these, just like my stitched dies, I will never ever stop using these dies. Even if Stampin' Up discontinues them, if they retire, y'all will be seeing this die in my videos because I love it. Okay, so we have that, and then I have some pieces here. So I have this piece of designer paper. You could use any of the pieces, really. This has a lot of the purple in it. And I feel like, for whatever reason, the white part of these papers, the white core of them, are showing so much in the holiday, paper. So, doesn't Purple Posy, the blend, doesn't it look like Highland Heather? Let's just take a look. This is Highland Heather, and this is Purple Posy. It's such a slight difference, right? They look exactly the same. I know it doesn't really matter what the lid looks like. It really matters what the color looks like. So my Highland Heather writer marker is dry. It was I think it was a dud. And the other day when Kayla was crafting, she came and she's like, this marker doesn't work. And it was the Highland Heather one. So I need to buy a whole nother set for the settles. So I have that. So I don't have a writer marker, but the same concept works with one of your blends. I know, Julie. I know. People just need to calm down. I know. So all I'm doing is just running this on the edge so there's no white showing. And with your blend, when you do this, because these markers are meant to, when you put these markers to paper, the paper sucks the ink out. It like works like it's just the way the alcohol works with the paper. And so you're going to get some bleeding, which is kind of cool. Like you'll get some bleeding down into the paper. I'm going to show you guys this up close, but it's kind of a cool technique. Because the paper is going to grab that ink and it's going to suck it in. And then it's going to bleed into the paper. So let me show you. Which kind of gives you this fun effect. So can you see how that like bleeds into the paper? So it's sort of like inking the edges of your paper, right? Like we've done that before where we take a dauber or a sponge and do that. So it gives you this neat effect. So Jenny said, fill it with your ink refills. Yeah, I know you can do that. You can take these and you can put more ink in your refill, and you can even change these out. You can buy ones that don't have ink in them, and then you can change them out if the nib of your marker is getting worn out. But you know, I don't care to do that. I don't have time to mess with that. So there's several of these where like I like to have double ink like markers. So I don't mind buying another set. I'll just buy another set. I get a discount being a demonstrator. So I'll just buy another set, and I'll have multiple markers and it works out. But you totally can refill it if you want. There's lots of videos out on YouTube on how to refill your marker. So what I just realized is I didn't cut this down like I needed to. So I'm going to have to cut this down and then do all of that again. Okay, so let's cut this down. So this is I had cut it at 5 1/4 by, or 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. But I'll just do this off 2 edges. So I just want to take like an 1/8 of like a tiny, tiny sliver off. So it's not quite 1/4 of an inch. It's just like an 1/8 of an inch. And then let's do this again. Yeah, you can totally refill them. I just don't want to bother doing that. I'm just lazy. Like I don't. And I feel like it does work, but I feel like especially this end never really gets the ink in it. Like this end right here has such a struggle. Like once it's dried out, it just has such a struggle like pulling that ink when you re-ink it. Okay. So then you have that really fun. So that's what you'll get if you use your blends. That's really fun. So then what I want to do is I want to go ahead and just put this down flat. I'm not going to pop it up or anything. And make sure when you're using this paper when you're using your adhesive, make sure you use it, because these foil pieces sometimes have a hard time with the ink sticking to it. So see how pretty that is? Just like that. Okay, so the next thing I have is a layer. So this is just Highland Heather cardstock. And I'm going to give you guys a measurement. Okay, so this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And that is because we're going to have another layer of the silver now. So we're using that other side. It's so shiny. And it's going to be 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. So I'm just working in 1/4 inch, measurements. And this piece we're going to do flat. Because I want to pop this piece up. So let's layer this. Okay, just like that. So see how pretty that is? It's really catching the light. So then what I'm going to do is put some foam on this. I'm just using some fun foam that has double-sided adhesive on it because I want to pop up this piece. And really the focus of this card is going to be this designer paper. So it's going to have lots of layers. I don't usually layer a lot of stuff up. I like white space on my cards, but every now and again it's fun to put on lots of layers. Okay, so I'm just layering this right here so you can see. And using your blends on your paper like that, it really gives it this added effect, this added dimension. Okay, so now we're going to do our stamping. And we're going to stamp on our die here. So we are using Highland Heather ink. And then we are going to use this that says, "From our home to yours." And I just feel like there's some little pieces on this stamp set. Let's get a piece of scratch paper so we can test stamp first, which is always nice to do. From our home to yours. Yeah, that looks good. I love the purple and silver together too. This particular purple reminds me of my grandma. This is like the color purple that she loved. So I'm going to do this right. It's not in the middle. It's off to the side. Just like that. Because we're going to cut this. So let's bring our trimmer back over. And I always suggest if you're going to do this where you're cutting a die like this, do it in your trimmer so you get a really nice straight edge. Okay, so then let's bring our card back over. And we're going to attach this right here. So that's why you want a really big sentiment. And I'll show you the one I originally designed with the other sentiment. And you'll see any large sentiment is going to work. The other one that would work for this would be wishing you peace, love, and laughter in the new year. So I went all the way to the edge here. So a couple things that we're going to do. I'm going to get my sequins out. And I have these really beautiful sequins that they're like this purple iridescent. And I think that they're going to be really nice on here. Darker purple would work too. Maybe we'll put a couple of these darker, I don't know, we'll try. Let's just pull some of these out. Yeah, I feel like maybe some darker purple ones will work too. Okay. So we have that. And then I have these pink rhinestones. These are from the Noble Peacock. They're the Noble Peacock rhinestones. And I feel like they might be a little too big. I really love putting rhinestones in the middle of snowflakes, but I feel like these might be too big to do that. And the pink I think would have worked because of the tones, but I think we'll skip that part and we will just do the sequence. So how I'm going to do that is just grab my liquid glue. Ooh, this is a brand new liquid glue, so I keep forgetting. I've done this several times now. And I push really hard because that's what I'm used to doing with my older one. And it ends up a mess. So I'm just putting glue kind of all over. And then I'm just going to group these together. And this is going to look really pretty. These look really pretty with it. These light ones. I'm not sure how the dark ones are going to do. We'll look at them. Like, let's maybe put a dark one right in there with it. Oh, it doesn't look bad. But you guys know I need to have some bling on here. Certainly not one of my cards without a little, some rhinestones or sequins, something, right? Like so. And then a couple down here. And then maybe one more dark one. So I've used 3 of the dark ones. That needs a little bit more glue. Just like so. So I love that. You could use Nuvo drops. You could use rhinestones. Rhinestones would look pretty on that. It would pick up some of that purple color if you just used plain rhinestones, if you didn't have sequins. So here's this one that we just did with the From Our Home to Yours. And then here's the one I did with the stamps that I can't find. So here's it with Simply Thankful for All Good Things, which I feel like is a really great sentiment for a card like this. So you really are featuring that designer paper. And all of the silver, it really pops, you guys. It looks so pretty when the light catches it, and especially with those sequins. So this is a great designer paper for that. And this stamp set actually works really well. And you could do this design of a card with any designer paper. It's just 2 pieces of designer paper. You could do this in a like a no tricks, just treats, or you know, like with our Halloween paper, or even like P.S. I Love You would be good on this one. So it's a great card, like design for easy. Like for just an easy card. And I will have a PDF for you guys. So if you are on my Facebook page, obviously right now, you'll see it later on. I have to catch up on my PDFs. I have like 4 I need to write for you guys. That's on my list to do today. So I will get those written and posted for the last couple ones. If you're on YouTube, the PDF is linked in the YouTube description. And if you're on my website, you will see it on linked there as well. So you can find them. I'm just a little behind writing them. Paper shares went out. They shipped yesterday. And so because of that, like I've just been, Monday and Tuesday were spent finalizing all of that. And then our PJ party is next week. Is it next week on the 27th? So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I loved making these cards. I think they're just pretty, and I think they're simple. And I like having some cards like this that are not specific. Like they're not birthday specific. They're not thank you specific. When I need to grab a card like on the go. If I'm like in a situation where I just need to grab something really quick, that's for something like that. These are perfect. So I love them. So I will be back tomorrow to create with you guys again. I'm sorry I missed hanging out yesterday. I just totally forgot about it. There's a lot going on. So I will definitely be back tomorrow, and we will create something else and hang out for a little while. And then today I'm gonna go and I'm gonna film a bunch of stuff and write a bunch of stuff. That's my goal today, is to film and write. And I'll hang out and we'll do creative stuff tomorrow again. So I hope you guys are having a good Thursday and that you enjoyed these cards here that we made. And then if you have any questions, let me know, and you can email me or leave a comment. I'm always happy to get back to you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, and I'll talk to you guys later.